Okay, everybody. So, this is one of those episodes. It's a big 400. Wow, that's
400.
it's kind of crazy that this has hit 400 somehow. However, which means I'm gonna introduce something new to the show to get new people more on board and to know us, because there's always new people coming onto the show. So it's like, well, they don't really know all of us, and they kind of have to listen for an extended period to kind of get the idea of who we are. So every week from now on, when we start, before we get into the topics, I'm gonna ask one question to everybody, and then we all kind of answer to kind of get the listeners to know us a little bit more. So it'll generally be
I don't
themed.
like change. There you go. No one does.
I quit. I mean, 400 episodes of us insulting the X-Men. That's pretty monumental there. But you know,
Basically.
don't worry, they'll be taken care of soon. So as always, this is your host Armin. Find me at Arminis and just Google up Comic Book Cast and you'll find everything there. And I'm here with Mitch.
What's up? You can find me at Mitch692.
Also Tristan
Hey guys, I'm back, and you can catch me at IsJChance.
and Shay.
Hey guys, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Michelle1602. But as always, I almost never tweet.
So there you go. So
Yeah.
Instagram is the one.
Instagram.
So here's the thing. Like I said, before we get into the topics, I'll ask one question and people can kind of go around and we'll answer it. And since this is a MCU-filled show, we're going to do a quick topic of what is your favorite MCU film and why? Now that 22 films are out, Spider-Man is on the way to conclude Phase 3. I guess I'll start and we'll go kind of around how I introduce everybody. So, to me personally, it's the first Avenger, Captain America. That movie, like, I was always unsure how it was going to go with Chris Evans and everything, his Human Torch, the casting, and Marvel was still trying to find their footing. So I was always like, oh, this could go either way. And it completely, like, I guess, shocked me that they hit it right. And yeah, the movie stumbles a little bit, but it tells a good story, good origin, introduces the Howling Commandos, Bucky, who's become really important to the overall arc of Steve and everything. And just the period piece, having it set during World War II, something I always love seeing. So to me, that movie just kind of set a new bar I didn't expect to see in comic book movies. And ever since then, movies have borrowed from that one. Just look at some of the other ones. You're like, oh yeah, there's a little bit of that movie in certain things. And to me, Cap, First Avenger, still number one after 21 other movies. So, yeah. Now, you, Mitch, what's your favorite MCU film?
Well, next time, can we get these beforehand so I can think about
seriously.
No, that's just why I introduced it here. I don't want to tell anybody on the spot.
Just like pick your favorite of 22 movies
now
that you haven't ranked in about 6 years.
I don't think I've ever ranked them.
I don't know if it's my favorite one, but I'm going to say Iron Man 3. I know that might get some crap because Iron Man 3 unnecessarily gets a lot of crap. I just feel like it did Iron Man 1 but better. Like there's a lot of similarities between that and the first one, and this one it shows Tony's he's not the suit, and everything. Like he can actually be all really smart by himself, which we saw before, but they really emphasized on this one. And just like the Mandarin twist, I liked it for what it was.
Loved it.
The Mandarin wasn't that great of a character in the comics anyway, and then this does kind of like pay homage to like all the versions of him. Like you got the original with the tattoos. You got the business suit Mandarin from the recent ones, and you got the old like stereotype version of him. Sure, the rings would have been nice, but
yeah,
it's whatever. Apart from that, like you got the Iron Legion. The first time we saw that, it just felt like an Iron Man movie. Like the other two felt like an Iron Man movie, but this one was like, no, that's an Iron Man movie.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, both of us coming out with a lot of people's least favorites are in the bottom 5.
Yeah.
Tristan, what do you got?
It's like split between Iron Man 1 and Black Panther. Iron Man 1 because it started it all, and it got me to want to look into Tony as a character more, because like I knew Tony Stark and all that, and I remember watching the early 90s cartoon show of Iron Man, if anyone remembers that.
Yeah.
And it just showed me that people, no matter how much baggage that they have, they can turn it around if they really want to. And then with Black Panther, it just shows that it doesn't matter what skin color you are, anyone can be a hero. And it shows that it cements that there can be a story told from anywhere. And it's just really good to see that, you know, Black Panther up on the big screen and come out the way it did, instead of, you know, people saying that it was going to bomb and no one was going to connect to the character when they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what got it for me.
Yeah, Black Panther. That's one of those films. Every time I rewatch it, it just gets better and better for me. So
yeah,
you know.
with all the, you know, with all the culture infused into the background of the character, more than say his original introduction in the comics.
Yeah. All right. And Shay, let us know why you love the Dark World the most.
God, no.
And Under the Bus.
I like black that movie out completely.
It goes quiet.
No, I definitely have to agree a little bit with Tristan. Black Panther was a movie that I went into already having like just such hope because of the fact that it is going to hit a different demographic. Same with Captain Marvel. Both of those movies I went into knowing that I would love them not because of the movie itself, but the cultural impacts that both these movies were able to accomplish. But honestly, one of my favorite ones that I love watching is Ant-Man and then Ant-Man and the Wasp. Both of those are some of my favorite just because it's this awkward character who's able to put on this suit and be somebody who nobody ever thought he could be. So I personally just love that about Ant-Man. And all the quirks, and I feel like he's a little bit more relatable to me because I am not intelligent and I am not like this person that can sit there and be everything and has all of these expectations on top of them. So I feel like I'm like, hey, look, he's not just a smart person or an infused person. Like, he's able to be a hero and not have to be already super smart and everything. So that's personally a reason why I absolutely love that. And I love that Ant-Man and Wasp is kind of like how Armin and I are. A little bit. I'm the one who's the martial artist. He's the one who's the quirky, like...
Yeah, I gotta hide behind you. That's definitely true.
So it feels like it is us, and... No, I'm never going to be into the quantum realm, but hey, maybe one day I'll be in a really cool suit and do some good in the world. Hey, volunteering. So, yeah. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
So, there we go. Next week, I guess I'll let you scrubs know what the question will be.
Thank you.
So, there we go.
Just quickly, why did no one choose Endgame? Or is it because it's the newest one, so you kind of want to avoid it?
I don't think it's that.
Basically me for the most part.
To Endgame, I think it's to me... I think it's the payoff. It's the grand finale film, but the other films have to service to build up to it. You know, like Endgame, if you say Endgame, you're like, well, that movie wouldn't really work if it wasn't for the amazingness that was Infinity War, you know? So it's like...
Endgame wouldn't work if we didn't have the 21 other films.
Right,
prior.
yeah.
Like, it's Justice League effect. Justice League didn't work because we didn't have established content and established characters in this world. Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong, Endgame is in my top 3. I know that, but, like... I don't know. I think I have to give it a little bit of time for it to, you know, move up and see where it officially lands. So,
good answer.
Yeah, and all that. So, there we go. That was our intro. Now we'll get to the topics. First up, the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer dropped, giving us a lot of info, a lot of interviews, set visits, and everything is hitting, which is always nice around this movie. So it's kind of we're not going too much into like the multiverse and stuff because that's a whole nother topic of discussion here. Let's talk about the trailer itself, what it accomplishes, and the hype it builds up. Because obviously, going right into it, the first thing they want us to know is, Tony's gone, and look at the world now. Like, Peter looks like he has PTSD, like, hardcore in this.
So sad.
He's literally me.
Another father figure died because I couldn't do anything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and especially because we don't know his story with Ben. We're just all assuming that Uncle Ben's story is the exact same as it was before. And here we are now. We have Tony, who has nobody. And he does have Happy, but it's really, you can't do much because Happy kind of like pushed him aside when they sat there and they had to have that responsibility if you watch over him. So Tony was his person, and he thought that he would be able to help protect and save Tony, and now he's gone, and we don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To me, I the way they're just taking it, right? Like, I feel like they're getting a lot more personal with it, which is what I definitely wanted. It's like, look, it's post-Endgame. The world has changed. We got to show you how much of it has changed and where it's gone. And I just love that that's what the trailer opens up with. It's like being like, look, we know you saw Endgame. We know you did. So it's that type of effect. And I love the direction they're taking pretty much with everything I saw in this. So kind of gets me really, really excited. How about you guys?
It might sound weird, but like it feels like a proper Spider-Man movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yes, like Spider-Man is the street level guy, but even Nick Fury's like, bitch, please, you've been to space.
Yeah.
Which he has. He's bigger than what everyone thinks. Like Spider-Man hasn't been the street level guy for about 30 years.
Yeah.
So it's just like it finally feels it's having a scale that a Spider-Man movie could have. No, not so it has to have it, but.
Why is Spider-Man out of New York? I don't know. He had Parker Industries in the center of Japan? I can't remember. Like,
I mean, it even goes to Twitter where it's all, he can't be Spider-Man. He's Iron Man Jr. still. And I'm like,
I despise that.
Yo, how did that line go over people's heads? How did you miss the point of that line?
They're taking it literally like, oh, I need to be Iron Man now. No, you just need a beacon of hope. That's the basis of what he was trying to say. Is that he wants to inspire people.
The fact that he ditches the Iron Spider suit shows you that he's not going to be the next Iron Man. He figuratively, not literally. No. Sure, there's some like parallels you can draw with like him looking at the hologram gauntlet and everything.
And him looking at whatever he is seeing in the message of Tony's glasses.
Yeah.
It's probably
if there
something.
It's
probably something like, "You're no longer the little guy. Like, I treated you like a child, but with everything that you've been through, you are no longer a child. You are a man. You are an Avenger." Like.
Right. Yeah. Kind of like a little pep talk for him.
Yeah. So I assume it's going to be like what he left for Morgan and Pepper. That like little bath message, whatever it was. So.
Yep. And that's
people are saying like it could be the AI, and it's like no, and they're not going to bring him back as an AI straight away.
No, not straight away, right? And that's kind of like the thing. It's like the world needs a new Iron Man. It's like he means the world needs a new beacon of hope to look up to. They need that big hero that saved everybody, whose final sacrifice call was to put everybody ahead of himself, which is the complete contrast to what he did, at the beginning of Iron Man 1, where he's like putting everybody ahead of him, and then he has that character arc. It's like, if you watch the Spider-Man trailer and it goes over your head and you think he's literally becoming Iron Man, I don't think you're a Spider-Man fan. Like, I think you're missing the core concept of what they're saying.
Like, you might be a Spider-Man fan, but you might not like grasp that that's what Spider-Man is. Well, that's not your interpretation of Spider-Man, though.
You might just be used to one or two versions, and that's it. It's like, well, you clearly missed Spider-Man.
That's what gets under my skin, is where they can't accept like different versions of Spider-Man. It's like it has to be Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, or it has to be Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
Isn't that the ironic part, though? Because they are different versions of Spider-Man. They're not the comic Spider-Man, which is the Spider-Man.
Those two versions of Spider-Man are so much more devoid of what Tom Holland's is. Like, dude, he had organic webbing in one of them, and in the other one, he has to buy it from Oscorp because he's a complete moron. Like, what? Hey, come on, guys. Like, there's plenty of interpretations of Spider-Man, and like, this trailer, to me, I'm willing to bet about when it's all said and done, this will be right up there with Spider-Verse. Like, dude, this is a Spider-Man film. Like, they got it, like.
But how odd that the last two Spider-Man films are dealing with multiverse.
Yeah, it's an interesting direction to take it in, which I guess that's where we're gonna take it in next. The MCU is now entering the multiverse with Spider-Man: Far From Home. There seems to be a lot of stuff going on in this movie, and honestly, the multiverse is something we speculated right after we were talking about, Endgame and the results, and it's like, oh wow, they're actually going to do it. Like, and remember, Kevin Feige said multiple times, you're not ready for what, we're doing next. So I guess this is what they're doing next. Like,
well, here's the thing, like, it's not like this is being introduced here. We had Doctor Strange.
Yep.
So we've known the multiverse exists, the same like we know that this is 616 and not 1999, because that was established in the Dark World. But I don't know. It's a very slippery door or slope that they've made here. So They got to be careful because you can't just have everyone come in through this. But
right, because that cheapens the effects of the MCU then, right? Like, it's like you can bring in a few characters through the multiverse, that's fine. But if you're suddenly like, all right, we're bringing in literally all the X-Men from another universe, it's like, dude, that's the cheapest cop-out I've ever seen. Like, that's just lazy writing.
That's basically what the people on Twitter want. They said the multiverse, we can add, the X-Men, we can add, the Fantastic Four, all the characters that we want, they don't have to go away.
See, that's the only thing. The only one that would work is Fantastic Four.
Yep. Yeah.
Because then you start their movie off in their universe and then they end up in ours.
Exactly.
That's the only way it can work. The X-Men, like, no, you need to see those, like, get fully realized in our universe or this one, not a different one than coming over.
Well,
like that's just...
Armin and I had our discussion about Spider-Man once the Far From Home trailer came out, and we sat there and we agreed. Like, Fantastic Four, it can be its own because, hey, Reed is the reason why we had the zombies within the service or in the comics. But they could potentially have more mutants show up, not some of the core member ones, but have more of the mutants show up, and that's why now we're like, okay, well, why do we have mutants now? Oh, wait, we have always had these mutants, but now we have a influx of more of them, maybe more powerful ones, like ones that are like, oh, well, now I don't know what to do. This isn't my world. Now that creates more of a villain for the particular type of X-Men to go through and have.
Maybe you 50-50, and maybe, I mean, if Mysterio's from, another multiverse, maybe that's how you bring in a few X-Men villains or something. Like, maybe that's probably how you do Deadpool, right? Like, that's the key to him, and maybe he brings over a villain into the MCU with him, but then you establish, there's already been mutants, in the core MCU, and here's how we're dealing with them now that these multiverses and fractions in time or whatever the hell's happening. So it's like,
they open the door like to set up the mutants in this anyway. Like Sam Jackson not Sam Jackson, Nick Fury being like, the snap, it tore a hole. Like, what else did it do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's just say Beck isn't lying about everything, which why would he be lying about a different universe, even though Sam Jackson says it? But, like, that could be the reason why they start popping up.
Yeah.
It's like the Celestials came down, they tinkered with everything, gave people the X gene, it lay dormant for this many years, snap, activates it.
Yep. Yeah, the possibility's all there, and the thing with the multiverse now is it opens up so many different directions they can go in. Like, they don't have to kind of like play with the laws of the MCU, how they've established them, Like, they could just be like, we can do whatever the hell we want. Like, it's kind of refreshing that they don't have to necessarily stick to this strict timeline and everything. It's just be like, I don't know, let's go to 70s. Maybe it's in the multiverse, then we'll affect this one when we come back. It's like, I don't know, they could literally do whatever they want, and it's kind of exciting just to have that idea there. It's like, sure, we'll bring in Deadpool. Cool. We don't need an explanation. Multiverse, done. Like,
you have to be careful with that, though, because then you get the no stakes arguments. Like, if you're always going to go back to a different reality, then our one's not got a threat. So it's a very wobbly line. You got to walk on it. But.
Maybe that's also how we get Shang-Chi.
Maybe.
Could possibly be. Yeah.
Because you can sit there. We can have the movie talk about his life and what he was doing prior, and then turn around and be like, oh, well, now he got ripped from his world, and now he's stuck here in our world, and go from there.
And that's the thing. You never know now how they could do it, and it's kind of interesting, like, with Eternals obviously coming down the road, that can clearly paint a better picture for us, I think. I think that'll be, like, a major kickoff to what's happening with everything, multiverse and all that, so it's going to be a good time to, like, 3 or 4 years from now when we get the idea of where they're going and what they're doing. And who do you think they bring in first? Like, what multiverse franchise goes first?
Hopefully Fantastic Four.
Damn it, Shay, you're not getting zombies.
I know, I'm never going to get my zombies. Maybe a TV show. Maybe that'll be one of the what ifs.
I mean,
I'd be happy with that.
That'd be
Do an R-rated animated Marvel Zombies on Hulu.
Well, they were developing a script for Marvel Zombies as an animated film at one point, so I mean,
bring it back. Why not?
Why? Yeah, exactly. Why not?
I love it. I have all the comics and I've read them all.
Well, all right, there, edgelord.
Actually, there's one thing they could bring from this multiverse stuff is if there's a multiverse, that means the superflow exists. Which means you could bring in the Beyonders from that way, or you could introduce like Living Tribunal and make like the abstracts more of a thing, and go that.
Let's drop Living Tribunal in there and completely OP the universe. That's.
But it's okay. He just stands around and watches.
He literally, that's all he does. So yeah.
Give me the Tribunal, Marvel.
I wonder if we'll get a little bit more about what the Watchers are. And
that'd be kind of cool.
We have them because like, the only time we've ever seen them was one of Stan Lee's credit scenes. So it's like, wait, we know they exist.
That'd be kind of cool.
Them and maybe like they're the ones who explain what the heck is going on with our worlds.
I want a movie that just drops 5 minutes of exposition on us, like. Oh yeah, sit down and get ready to strap in for what's happening right now. It's just like somebody telling a story, you know. It's like
we could also do Galactus properly.
Yes,
you can just say that his multiverse died and then he came over.
Right, like
I know it's not the same as like he's the survivor of the previous universe, but you can kind of fandangle it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean that's what they've done with most of these things. So it's like why not just do what you will with it as long as it makes sense and the character I guess stays true to his core, which. There's a part of me that says, like, does Galactus need to be more complex than dude eats planets? Like,
no.
Probably not.
No, but I think to make the movie better, you should do it.
So
like, don't just have, like, a mindless guy walking around the space. You know, actually give him a reason and everything.
So then you explore kind of, like, the whole, what was his name? Galen, was it? Or I can't remember.
It was something like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, that worked into Galactus now.
It was birthed from an egg. It's been a while, but yeah, complex stuff there. So
birthed from an egg?
Look, it's a complex story, Shay. Galactus was an egg, and then...
You know, you gotta say what came first, the chicken or the egg.
Galactus.
Celestials came before everything.
Yep.
That's really interesting.
Or a celestial chicken.
That's
celestial chicken. Oh,
that's exactly what Galactus will be. Oh man,
those are ridiculous.
We're on point. So I guess that'll end that discussion. So as part of the Marvel sweep and clean, Disney came out. We're like, yo, you remember all those Fox movies? Lol.
Trash.
Those ain't happening. Although New Mutants is happening. Here you go. Here's a new date, and it's like,
but is it happening?
Oh, I think it is.
They say April 2020. It's not going to come out.
I think this is the one that kind of... I think it does. I really do think this will happen.
I feel like it'll be a really great way to introduce more to the cinematic world, a dark and gritty version of the world that they live in. Because we've gotten a lot of the dark and gritty, besides Dark World just being color dark. All of our darkness has come from the TV show side. So, like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where they had beheadings and things like that, and a whole bunch of stuff. And obviously, we had, like, the Defenders, all of their stuff.
But the thing is, it's like, this movie's still coming out after they literally scrubbed all the X-Men release dates. It's like, they literally scrubbed it all. I'm like, there's a plan here because there's no way this movie is 500 million box office. Like, I don't... It's the word... Stranger things have happened, right? Like, but... I just don't see this being a big thing. So why are they keeping it on here? Like, it's...
All the actors are all ones that we haven't seen in the other movies. So they can literally sit there and be like, hey, guys, here's our first look of the X-Men in our universe.
A part of me wants to believe that's Kevin Feige's goal. Like, it's...
But what if they turn it into a TV show?
I'm fine with that.
Like, don't release the movie, keep the actors, wait until... you've established the mutants and then making New Mutants.
Done. I'll take it. I mean,
it'd be a bit weird starting off with New Mutants, but...
But it kind of wouldn't because...
I mean, the name is kind of works into it. Marvel's New Mutants.
It implies that you've already had mutants.
But if you think of it this way, a lot of people, the everyday normal person, will get confused of what an Inhuman is. So they're like, well, isn't that technically a mutation? Like, aren't Inhumans
No,
just
that's why they
mutations?
ignore Inhumans. They don't exist.
Until Fantastic Four #3. It will happen.
And that's kind of a thing, like, it wouldn't surprise me if maybe part of the reshoots are like, let's retroactively refit this into the MCU and maybe make it multiverse. Maybe at the end something will happen. Like, I feel like there's a goal here because I just don't know. Them officially...
But when are they going to reshoot it, though?
End of the year.
Because you do it at the end of the year. When are you going to do post-production?
They are so quick.
I mean, how cheap and that's the thing. Like, how cheap and dirty and grim is this movie? Like, because originally the trailers implied they shot it like a Saw 1. They're just like one take, done, Rodriguez style. You're like,
yeah, it wasn't like that. It's more of a thriller and everything. But,
yeah.
I know. I just don't think there's enough time. Like, if they start now, you can get to do it. It depends how much they're going to do, obviously. But if they're going to like make it fit the MCU and then do other stuff like that, you might as well just make another film.
True.
Which you would need to start 2 months ago to get it out by April.
Yeah.
I have faith in Marvel and what they're going to be doing because of the fact that it's like it is them doing the reshoots, not Fox. It's Marvel doing the reshoots.
I mean
that
that is a factor, yes, but they've never put a film out quicker than a year.
True.
The film's already done though. They just have to make it better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that might take 2 years.
Yeah.
How bad that movie
because we don't know what happened initially, and it's like how was the cut. It's just a part of me believes that, like, it's been a month plus since that acquisition, right? A part of me wants to believe Kevin Feige has sat down and watched it and was like, I think I can make this work to a degree. Because if he said no, I think Disney would listen to him being like, all right, this can't come out. Like, Gambit was 100% scrapped. They scrapped whatever other films were in development that had dates, which, what was it? Fox had like 3 or 4 dates that they completely erased them. They're like, nope, we're not releasing any of those Marvel properties here. It's like, wow. So something about this movie has to have given them some sort of confidence. Like, it's...
But, or does it though? Or is it just the fact that it actually was shot?
Maybe.
And that's the reason why they're just pushing it, and it's like it kind of has to come out. But if we just keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it,
well, you seen those rumors that hit today about it?
Oh, the reshoot rumors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't believe that.
I don't know. It's like
because they're saying they're going to start in September and reshoot 75%. Like, no, that gives you no time for anything else.
So here's how they reshoot 75%. It literally takes place in like a cube, like the movie Cube, and they're just like talking and entering other cubes. Like, that's the only way you can make this work.
I mean, it takes place in a mental hospital, so
exactly.
You're not far off a cube, but it's. I don't know. I would have to see it to believe. Like, there's rumors that Shang-Chi's going to start filming this year and then come out next year, but I don't know.
How it goes. I don't see him doing it. Here's how New Mutants goes. If we hear casting or reshoot schedule, then we hear a set report that here's where post-production is going to begin again on these reshoots. By October, I will 100% believe this is somehow getting added to the MCU. If nothing is heard by October, it's going to get scrapped. But
even then, it's just such a weird, how meticulous they've been with this entire franchise for 11 years. Mm-hmm. Just throwing this movie in and that being your introduction, the
only thing that I could kind of equate it to is the addition of Spider-Man. Because remember, they announced their entire slate, and they're like, here it comes. And literally 2.5 months later, they're like, all right, reshuffle all that. Here comes Spider-Man. It was like, whoa. But even that took Civil War and everything.
They did that movie.
Right.
They, you had Spider-Man in a movie before that. Sure, it wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
But, this is this was made for something else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where this Tom Holland Spider-Man was made for this. I don't know. I would have to see it to believe it.
Yeah. What if it is so different that it's nothing like the X-Men that we've seen, which the trailers originally implied.
Also, it's nothing like garbage?
So that's how they had hoped, being like, you know what? Why not? Like, let's sit there and we'll add this. It's going to be a dark way that we introduce that mutants have been here in our world. And then by the end of it, hey, their reshoots are, here are the X-Men. They're the ones who save whoever's in the mental asylum, and then they go from there.
And they cast the first X-Men or something for the MCU. Yeah. I think realistically they could, but the whole Fox thing is my holdup. That's the only reason I'm like, it's a Fox property.
Like, that's so unlike how they've done everything before, and just like shoehorn this and here. I don't know. I think that's too that's just asking for a spot on you.
That's asking having a Venom in a perfect record. It's like, oof.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It wouldn't feel right by me if they did it. I can just see him dumping on Hulu. You're still putting it out there. You're still going to get money from it. You'll probably get more money from it anyway. So
yeah, they are. So, I mean, I guess we'll talk more about Fox's future soon. I mean, well, nope.
What future? Well, I mean, they have.
I guess Deadpool and
The
that's
future
it.
direct DVD.
Yeah. A lot of rumors hitting this week post Endgame and the new Spider-Man trailer. Nova, Eternals, Cosmic Future, everything's kind of getting tossed at us at once. Where do we want to start at Nova, I guess?
Yeah, let's start at Nova because we've talked about this before.
Yeah, we have.
I'm pretty certain we've kind of not necessarily known it, but we've been aware of the rumor for a while.
Yep.
And it's about time.
It is.
Give me Richard Rider.
I mean,
like bring in Sam later on. Like I can see it being Sam to start off with, but give me Rider, please.
My whole thing is this movie isn't happening till at least a year or two after Guardians 3. There's no way it happens before it. Like that's unimaginable.
Oh. I mean, he could be in Guardians 3.
He could. Yeah.
He could be the post-credit scene in that. We don't know.
I mean, Guardians 3 is going to take place after Endgame, right? The universe has seen 5 years. Who's to say they're not going to go to Xandar and they're like, oh, check out our hero. We don't need you, Guardians. And there's Nova. You're like, whoa.
Xandar's been destroyed.
It was decimated, yes. But
that was 5 years ago in the MCU timeline.
Right. So
I feel like if they're going to introduce him, he's going to have a completely different story. And it's going to be he rose up due to the decimation of Xandar. Like he stole the Nova Corps gear and kind of made it his own, and then we're able to sit there and go and start defending around these areas that are being affected.
Right. I don't. Maybe Xandar's like, hey, we need an intergalactic cop. Let's do our own experimentation. And oh, look, this guy wins. Like, because
I mean, you could do it so like the start of the movie's a prequel where you have what's the guy's name? Is it Raymond Day? That Nova Corps, the guy that finds Rider in the comics, you have him and they're working on the Nova Force, and then the decimation for Xandar happens from Infinity War. So and then you jump to that 5 years later sort of thing.
So that would be kind of cool if they're experimenting on Rider and Thanos attacks. Their last ditch effort is to use the Power Stone. He gets infused with it or something, and it's like, there's his birth. Like that could work honestly, and
then you can there's a little thing in the comics where the Nova Force can make it its own little pocket universe. Just take him out of the world for 5 years or something and then bring him back.
That's true.
Also, give me the Fraternity of Raptors.
The hell is that?
Do you know who Darkhawk is?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Oh, my God. I haven't heard that name in forever.
Edgelord Nova with the silver wings.
Yo, I know who Darkhawk is.
Yeah, give me that. Perfect villain for the Nova Corps. Perfect villain.
Well, I mean, going off Nova, then we got Eternals.
Yep.
Boy,
which we assume we have our Icarus now.
Yeah, we do. The Game of Thrones guy. Who did he play in Game of Thrones again? I keep forgetting the name.
He was Robb Stark.
Robb Stark, right? Okay, so.
To be fair, it's been a couple of years since he was in the show. So.
Yeah, he died in season 3 or 4 or something?
Whenever the Red Wedding was. I can't remember.
Yep, Red Wedding. Yep, he died getting stabbed.
Trying to protect his mother.
Yeah, good casting too.
Yeah. I've only seen him in Game of Thrones, so
yeah, and he did real good in what he was given. So
he did. It's an interesting choice for Icarus.
I mean,
and he doesn't to me. Icarus is more like that happy-go-lucky, cocky guy.
You never know; he could be that kind
his
of
acting
person.
range.
He could.
Yeah. It's. But assuming then you're gonna put him front and center, you still got, from what we understand, Angelina Jolie there. That sounds pretty good.
Which, if she's Cersei, she's 10 years older than Richard Madden, which is it's not a problem, but it's just kind of a bit weird.
We always got de-aging tech.
That's true.
Marvel's got that in the pocket now. It's the best possible.
I can't think who else we got.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's also talk about the rumors that, The Rock, he's been like, hey, Kevin, our schedules are going to line up. He's been wanting a Marvel role for as far back as 2012. I remember him tweeting at Kevin Feige being like, hey, you need Luke Cage? Hey, you need this guy?
I'm so happy he wasn't Luke Cage.
I think The Rock's going to happen in the MCU sooner rather than later.
But who?
We
who
can
would
see
you
him as
cast
an Eternal.
I could see him. I could see him as an Eternal or maybe Namor.
I could see him as Namor, but wouldn't that be a bit weird having The Rock as Namor and then Momoa as Aquaman?
See, I think that's my thing. The Rock is like, oh, Momoa wants to outrock me. I'll outrock him.
It's are we going to make the water guy a stereotype for Polynesian people?
They all got to do haka dances at the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, right, the water people are Polynesians, fire people are Latinos. Like, that's how stereotypes work in superheroes now.
Like, and I don't know. I think The Rock is going to end up in one of these. Maybe something cosmic. I don't know.
Well, because we were talking about if he does go into the Eternals, he has almost like Egyptian kind of skin. He could be one of them.
Oh, could you imagine instead of making him Black Adam, they strike that first and they make him something like that in the Eternals?
I mean, he can get into this superhero business because with the Fast and the Furious, he already has his Samoan Avengers.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Hobbs and Shaw.
His cousin Roman Reigns needs to come into the MCU.
No.
Yes, I need this to happen.
Let's make him redeem himself. Cast him as Hercules.
Dude, that would be amazing.
You bombed it once, do it again.
Oh, that would I would actually not mind that with a good script. Like he could do it.
Because I wouldn't be surprised if Hercules isn't here because Avengers, what was it, No Road Home that wrapped up recently in the comics did put Hercules in space.
Yeah, they did
with a very Kirby Eternals-esque outfit. So.
Oh god, the moment I saw that, I actually showed it to Shay. I was like, "This is Herc's new outfit. Does this look familiar or like it looks like anything else to you?" It's like, dude, they're lining up the pieces here.
Yeah.
But, I mean, then on top of that, you're looking at this whole thing. The whole cosmic side expanding. There's been mumblings of, like, Kronos, Kang, Annihilus,
so much.
Adam Warlock. I mean, Warlock's got to get payoff in Guardians 3 or something, right?
Yeah,
like,
Warlock's coming. We know that one.
Yeah. So I guess that'll kind of segue us into the next topic.
Actually, I know who you could cast The Rock just quickly. Make him Hyperion.
Yeah, oh god. Yeah.
It works for Eternals, and then you can do a Squadron Supreme movie.
That is true. That is true. Our last topic here. A little bit of Doctor Strange, a little bit of Guardians 3, some Thunderbolts rumors. It's a big old rumor-filled topic here on what might be coming. So, Mitch, where do we want to start? Which one are these?
Well, the Thunderbolts one I was told about maybe about a week ago. Before this came out, I just kind of kept it on the DL.
People have been asking me why, like 6 months ago, I had a straight week where I tweeted just gifs of Abomination. It's because this is what I was told. I was told they want to get Thunderbolts down the road and they're setting up the pieces, and Abomination was going to be coming back to kind of wrap him up. And I was like, you know what? Now hearing this and other people that have sources, I'm like, yeah, it's probably happening. So
yeah, and also like Zemo coming back, but I was told it won't be Daniel Bruhl.
No!
Which it's the saddest part. It's kind of like you can keep Zemo then. Like,
yeah.
If it ain't Bruhl, I don't care.
Yeah. He was so good in Civil War.
Yeah,
you know, just get him for a scene, get the glue on his face and stick the mask on there, then get someone else and have him ADR it.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, he's only got to do a day in the studio then. So. It will never happen, unfortunately. But yeah, apparently I think it's Zemo, Ghost, Justin Hammer, General Ross, and Abomination. And the leader apparently is going to make a return.
I just want to tell you right now, Justin Hammer Dance gets a 10 out of 10 for this movie and jumps to number 1 for me. Him dancing out of jail doing that dance will be the greatest thing ever.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, that movie sounds like... I mean, it's Marvel Suicide Squad.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what Thunderbolts is.
Exactly. So it's
except they don't all get their head exploded.
Oh, can we have an awesome Red Hulk?
Oh.
Somehow he has a mustache, then he doesn't. Can you explain that?
No, he's got
the 80s porn mustache.
Yes. Oh yeah, all of it.
Keep it.
Keep it as the Hulk.
Keep it.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine if they did what they did with Mark Ruffalo with Thunderbolt Ross? They just make him look bigger, but it's still that same face with the mustache, dude. That is money right there.
I would be so super excited.
That would be so stupid looking that you can't not do that, right? Like...
Yeah. Also, it's probably a safe bet that the guy who played Abomination won't be coming back. I can't think of his name.
God damn it. Tim Roth?
That's the one, yeah.
Tim Roth, yep, okay.
Which, to be fair, you don't need him back. He doesn't look anything like Tim Roth. So.
No, and you could also keep Abomination permanently in Abomination form, so...
I think he is kind of permanently in
so
that
it's like,
form.
whatever.
Did you see how his bones were sticking out of his body? Like, I don't know. I don't think you could put that back.
You want us just shove these back in your spinal column. It's all good, buddy.
So can we get a redesign of him slightly? Like, kind of like Incredible Hulk to Avengers.
Oh, definitely.
Like, just make him look like... less like exposed muscle, because
yeah.
Disgusting.
So with
Can we
that,
get flippers?
sure. Why not?
Yes.
Maybe he's been swimming a lot, so he's developed like an amphibian. I don't know. Sure.
Well, didn't Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. say he's been frozen in the fridge?
Yeah, it was like season 2, I think they mentioned him.
That,
yeah, Blonsky. With that in mind, High Evolutionary might be part of Guardians 3?
Please. I've been asking for it for years.
I mean, if they make him be like, yeah, he's responsible for Rocket Raccoon, it's like, dude, that makes sense. That dude's a scientific freak. So
it's also not the first time that this rumor's come up for this movie.
That's true.
You know, there tends to be no smoke without fire. But as long as it's Mark Hamill, because we know Hamill and Gunn.
Oh my God!
3 make the High Evolutionary Mark Hamill.
So if you want to explain quickly to listeners High Evolutionary in a very simple way, because I might struggle.
High Evolutionary is a smart guy on our Earth who got obsessed with evolution. I'm pretty certain this is right. Yep. He ends up making a counter Earth which sits on the opposite side of the sun to us, so we can never see it.
Yep.
And he makes animal people.
Yep.
That's High Evolution.
So it's basically racism, but with animal people.
Right.
Yes.
So here's your in. He's from another multiverse that phased in, and he got here decades ago or something, and he's been doing these experiments, carrying them out in secret or something. It's like, oh, all right, we got this. Because if they introduce the counter Earth, it's like, oh boy.
Well, here's the thing: you don't have to have counter Earth. You just make Half World, the High Evolutionary thing.
Yeah. Okay.
No, you just keep Rocket's home planet like that, and then just say he's responsible for all those talking animals like Lila and all that.
Mm-hmm. Are we gonna see Rocket's otter wife?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's happening.
Yes. I was gonna say it's in part of the description for it apparently. So.
Yep. So then
she was set up in the first one as well.
Yeah, she was. That'll be kind of awesome.
I will love that because it's like you'll have Rocket basically being like how Hawkeye is. Rocket has just not talked about his mom or his family and his wife. Like he doesn't want to talk about it because he felt like he abandoned them to save them.
That would be kind of cool. A good emotional beats for a third Guardians movie. Yeah. I mean,
and there's also it's going to be like a. I'm trying to think of the theme for it because apparently, what's the name? Moondragon's going to be in this.
Oh yeah, Moondragon.
Like Drax is going to find out she's alive, and Nebula and Star-Lord are going to get closer to each other, which would make sense because Gamora's obviously not his Gamora anymore.
Yep.
But I don't know. There's a lot in this movie that's the case. You know, you're going to have the High Evolutionary and Warlock, which I suppose you can put those two together.
You could,
but it's just so much, and I'm kind of. I've said it so many times with these movies. Like, it's too much, and then they always do it.
And then they always do it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Come on, they just pulled off Endgame.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
There's nothing now I feel like is too much.
Uh-huh. And then what do we got for Doctor Strange rumors?
Well, Doctor Strange, I say 1980s Boogaloo.
Yeah.
So does that mean we're going to be having a time travel thing?
Right.
But he doesn't.
Is he going to get the time stone back? Maybe. Because the Russo said they're not gone, they're just atomized.
Yeah.
So they still exist. So does that mean our timeline's still semi-stable because they're still there? But
is he gonna collect all of the atoms? He's gonna be like, hold on, guys, I'm gonna just sit here for a while. His head's gonna go all wonky weird again, and he's just absorbing.
Yeah.
He's just gonna make a cosmic butterfly net and just. Apparently Tilda Swinton's going to be back or she's in talks to return as the Ancient One.
Sweet.
Jericho Drum, which was set up in the first one by his brother dying in the Sanctum.
Yep.
Clea is apparently going to make her appearance. She's going to be, or they want an Asian actress for that.
Okay.
And the gloves are back. The orange Doctor Strange gloves.
Okay, bros. Where the hell is Baron Mordo?
Mordo's got to be a third one.
What? It's going to be 15 years between the time we see him by the time this movie comes out.
You could, if they're doing Dark Avengers, you could have Mordo on that.
Please.
And just do it that way, and then you could have Mordo coming for the third one. They'll no doubt do it, but...
he was literally my favorite part of Doctor Strange, so...
So, he could still be here, because it's not exactly a description of the entire movie, but...
Yeah.
Isn't that? I think Derrickson said, Nightmare for the sequel, but I can't be sure on that.
Boy, that sounds kind of insane.
Huh. Well, come on. If they sat there and they told us that the not the multiverse, the quantum realm was going to be a massive, huge part of Endgame, and it was literally like what a cup
A
is
plot
to
device,
water.
yeah.
It's just a device to kind of siphon through. So the Nightmare Realm could be a part of it, but it could just also be he has to travel through the Nightmare Realm to be able to undo things that have been done. I wonder if, because of the fact that they're trying to bring the Ancient One back, we find out what she made as a mistake. And like, 'cause there's a reason why they said that specific line, and it's like, well, huh? Would you make a mistake?
See, I just assumed that the mistake was her not giving the stone to Banner.
See, I read it the other way, like many other people. I was like, wait, I think she's realizing something's got to happen. So, I mean, I guess this movie will explore it.
What could you do? Like, you can't change the past. You can't. Nothing would change in the present.
True.
Yeah.
But
I just don't have to deal with it.
To be fair, they could quite easily go, oh no, maybe we were wrong about the multiverse, and you can change something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know, so I guess they'll get to that soon. But that was quite an update on quite a few movies coming out. That officially brings us to the end of the show. It's been a pretty good episode, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice and full.
Got some nice topics out of the way, and for once we had a really good show that it wasn't like, hey, we got to scrape the biggest bottom of the biggest barrel we can find.
And news broke before the podcast.
Right.
Speaking of the news, there's the rumors of the Black Knight movie from the same account as these leaks, or potential leaks.
Interesting.
Which we've heard of Black Knight before.
Yeah.
Especially for Endgame, but it's...
Yeah.
So what happened to Shay picking the topic for this week?
Duh.
Isn't that supposed to happen?
Shay picked the Doctor Strange one.
Oh, yeah, I was supposed to pick a topic.
Yeah.
This is also supposed to show our faces, so yeah, no. That'll be on... That's going to be on episode 401 and a half. 401 and a half.
One that never happens.
Exactly. It's kind of like that movie that nobody realized came out, the Lion King 1.5, and it was Timon and Pumbaa's story.
1.5.
There is. It's actually called Lion King 1.5, and it is based off. It's in between Lion King 1 and 2, and it's Pumbaa and Timon's story, and it was an actual straight to DVD movie.
What?
Well, I'll be damned. It does exist.
I told you. So that's going to be like the episode. It's going to be a straight to DVD episode. I'm going to choose the topic. It'll be great, guys. And it's like, it's 401.15. So check it out.
All right. So with that in mind, thank you everybody for joining us for the show. As always, make sure you follow us wherever the hell. Listen to this podcast again if you want to find that out. And we'll be back next week. Same place, different time as always. So there you go.
At least it's in the week.
Yeah, that's true.